Good morning, everyone. I sense a little bit of excitement in the air for some reason. I would like to welcome everyone to Kingsway College Graduation Commencement Program. As our program is about to begin, we would like to ask everyone to please sit and clear the aisles and the perimeter as the Kingsway staff and graduates will be marching shortly. Immediately following the program, the graduates will be exiting the church and going across the street to the SDACC parking lot. A class picture will be taken against the retaining wall, after which the students will form a receiving line around the parking lot. Parents, family, and friends are asked to follow the staff and the grade 11s through the receiving line. Thank you for joining us for this very special weekend at Kingsway College. God bless.
Please rise for the opening prayer. Let us bow our heads. Great God and our Heavenly Father, good morning. You have kept us alive one more day on this grand and glorious final day of celebration in the series of this graduation. And indeed, our hearts are truly grateful. Consequently, Lord, we acknowledge your effervescent presence in our lives. And so today we celebrate your leading in the lives of these graduates as much as we celebrate their achievements and their support systems. May your powerful presence continue to oversee this ceremony, and please continue to be present in their lives as they continue their educational and spiritual pursuits. Inspire, motivate, equip for service, and save us at last when you shall come. We thank you again, and may you be glorified in this ceremony as we celebrate together. In the name of our wonderful, loving, and saving name of Jesus, let all say amen. Be seated.
William Cater was born and grew up in Hamilton, Ontario. He has attended Christian education his entire life, graduating from Grandview Adventist Academy in 2008, Kingsway in 2012, and Burman University with a bachelor's in education in 2018. He has one older brother who also graduated from Kingsway in 2008. He is married to Stephanie Cater, a registered nurse at Lakeridge Hospital, who also graduated from Kingsway in 2013. He believes God placed him here at Kingsway for a reason. My favorite story in regards to Mr. William Cater was that before I knew him, he kept on showing up at my office here at Kingsway. Every time that he would come home from university, he would drop by my office with a resume and saying, "Mr. Richards, I want to work at Kingsway College." I found out later on that his professors back at Burman were trying to counsel him not to put all of his eggs in one basket, because he had told them the only place he really wanted to work was Kingsway College. And so he told me yesterday about the day when I did make that fateful telephone call. He said, "I was shopping in Costco and my phone rang, and it was you, and you offered me the job that I always wanted." God calls each and every one of us, and I am so happy that Mr. Cater answered that call. Mr. Cater, the graduating class has invited you, has given you the honor to be their speaker this morning. And so, Mr. Cater, may God bless.
Stop. There's been enough crying in the last 3 nights. Definitely did my fair share on Thursday night. That was, I told my wife that night, I said, I ugly cried that night. I decided last night that the consecration service is my favorite one. To watch you all bring flowers to your families and loved ones, to see such genuine love and appreciation, it hits very deeply to me. No. I also told my wife, I said, I can't do this too long, the crying stuff, because it's like kind of, I guess, it's funny at first, and then after a while it's like, okay, dude, just get on with it. So I'm really trying to reel it in. Okay, so while you're not my children, I really felt the Latin phrase in loco parentis, which in full effect, I felt this in full effect by receiving roses and love from you all. I learned about this phrase back in university. It means in place of a parent, which often is used to describe the duty of care that teachers have for you when you're at school. This is why I get stressed out on big trips, because it's like I have 50, 60 of you to take care of. And of course, I don't do that alone. I have help. But to keep you safe at all times, sometimes it weighs on me on trips. It's something I think about often. The only time you guys really stressed me out was on class trip, actually. and it was when we were skiing. And everything was fine. Everything was fine up until the very end, because usually you guys are pretty punctual, which I appreciate. But it was 50 minutes late to our meeting time, and I didn't know where Matthew, Dylan, and Isaiah were. And you weren't answering your phones either, which then continued to stress me out. So Matthew comes down the hill and says, yeah, I don't know where Dylan and Isaiah are. Last time I saw him there, who was it? Isaiah? Oh, it was Isaac. And you told me, though, that last time you saw them, they were stuck in some deep snow. But like the way it was worded to me, it was like, this is a concern. Like, it was not funny to me. So I kept trying to call, and, I'm thinking, okay, I got to start going over to and find some help and say, okay, like, I got students stuck somewhere. I don't know where they are. Anyway, they came down a few minutes later, which was great. The relief that I felt, because of course, that's not a phone call that's good to make to administration or parents. Anyway, normally I'd say I'm nervous, but I'm going to practice what I preach, and that's going to make more sense by the end of this speech. That was unintentional. I want you to think back when you were 8. Summer felt endless. When you were 10, a school year felt like a decade. Where did the time go? If you feel just as concerned about how fast the last 4 years went, trust me, I am just as concerned. I remember giving some of you a mental timeline in grade 11, and I don't know who remembers this, but I was saying as we start class, I think before we were praying in the start, I was giving you a mental timeline of how the next 2 years was going to go. I was like, okay, there's a test next week, there's an exam the next, then it's going to be summer, then it's going to be September, first day of school, senior year, then before you know it, first semester is going to end, before you know it, it's class trip, before you know it, it's second semester, exams, and then graduation. And I kind of gave you this really quick 2-year at a glance, and you all looked at me like I was crazy, and now here we are. I remember Jonathan specifically was in that class, and I even went on further, and I said, okay, and then you'll go to post-secondary school, then you'll have a special someone, and then you'll have your career, and maybe not in that order, then maybe some kids, in which I know that you'll send your kids to Kingsway. Turns out there are many theories as to why we perceive time so differently as we age. The most popular theory is the proportional theory. To a 10-year-old, 1 year is 10% of their life, approximately. To a 50-year-old, it's about 2% of their life. And as you grow older, 1 year divided by your total years grows more and more insignificant, grows smaller and smaller. So the denominator is getting larger, making each year get more insignificant, which maybe, not to be morbid, but anyway, so logically, time is always the same. We know that. It just doesn't feel like it is, which is maybe why your parents are having a harder time than you figuring out how you got here so fast. As I have reflected over the last 4 years, it's funny that many of you wouldn't look at a grade 9 photo. Some of you would even say, we don't talk about grade 9 when I bring it up. Grade 9 was so interesting because it was before all of you were sifted through time into forming your current deep friendships and circles. Mr. P and I watched you all grow more comfortable and grow in confidence into who you are. I couldn't have been to the class events since victories seem few and far between. And I'm not roasting. In fact, it's my favorite thing about you. Time and time again, you lose, but time and time again, you laugh and you smile. And if I didn't know that you had lost, I wouldn't have guessed it. I have been amazed by your resilience and ability to focus on what really matters to you. I saw losing have zero effect on you and who you are as a person and as a class. Having fun and making memories was always the priority from September 2022 to now. For our whole lives, it feels like we are always competing for something. Sometimes we set ourselves up to compete when it's fun, like, of course, sports or activities. But sometimes we are competing unknowingly, involuntarily, and maybe in ways we wish that we weren't. Competing in grades, positions on essay, positions in class exec, maybe spots on the varsity teams. Those are just some examples in high school, and as some of you are already finding out, you will continue to compete for scholarships, university admissions, jobs, and promotions. Maybe we are competing for something deeper, like attention, recognition, validation, or perceived happiness on social media. Competition, whichever kind, is simply inevitable. All throughout high school and beyond, you cannot avoid it. And guess what? You can't avoid losing either. I don't like to lose. No one likes to lose. Those of you on the varsity volleyball teams, it was tough losing at Berman this year. During my time here, we've never been in a tournament like that one, and it was an absolute grind for 2 days playing nonstop volleyball, and that was something I didn't expect going into that. So what a cool story it would have been if both our teams could have gotten first place. To lose after hours and hours of practicing, it's tough. You put everything on the line to win, and yet it just wasn't enough. And it hurts. You don't need to play a sport in order to experience losing. Competing for grades, maybe not hitting your academic goal. Think back throughout the last 4 years. The sleepless nights and the confusion and the studying, the arguing over points. Usually the stressing is either from calculus or physics, is what I'm gathering. Probably throw chemistry in there too, yeah. Maybe you didn't meet your goal, test after test after test. Or you wanted that position on class exec that you didn't get, or the summer job that you didn't get. Some of you have experienced deeper loss in your own personal lives in which not a lot of people can understand. There's a popular anecdote in which a pike is placed in a tank and is separated by a glass barrier on the other side. On the other side is smaller fish, which is food for the pike. The pike repeatedly attempts to get to the other side of the tank, but keeps hitting the barrier. And after a long series of failed attempts, it stops attempting. The barrier is then removed, but the pike does not attempt anymore. After repeated failed attempts, it quits. Even though there is now nothing between the pike and its food, it's tired of trying and failing. This psychological phenomenon is often used to help us understand the idea of learned helplessness, which is how repeated failure can make us stop trying, even when the obstacle is later removed. The point that I'm trying to make is, you see, our minds, they are powerful, and it can turn against us if we let it. If you expect to fail, you often change how you behave in ways that make failure more likely. If you continue to say, "I'm bad at math," you will practice less and have lower performance. If you said, "I can improve at math," your output will be higher performance. Notice I didn't say it means immediate success, but higher performance. The belief comes first, then the results follow. Our minds are powerful. The placebo effect is a highly studied and very real effect. A person's physical symptoms can improve after receiving treatment that isn't actually doing any physical alteration to you. This is usually studied when people in pain receive fake treatment through sugar pills, saline injections, or fake procedures. Pain reduction is one of the strongest findings of the placebo effect, where brain scans have shown reduced activity in pain processing after receiving fake treatment. Obviously, the placebo effect is not a long-term solution for chronic issues, but the point I'm also trying to make is what you can expect can change what you can experience, even at a biological level. The brain does not simply observe performance, it helps shape it. If what you think can affect your performances so much, then why not use that to your advantage? Students often tell me before a test, "Mr. Cater, I'm going to fail." And I say back, "Well, now you might if you keep talking to yourself like that." Not that simply thinking positive is the only key to doing well, but you will perform better than if you didn't think confidently. Entering a high pressure situation, what good is it telling yourself that you're going to fail? It will literally lower your performance. When OG Anunoby needs to hit at least one of 2 free throws to basically seal the deal for the championship. Yes, it's not just Dean Kevin making basketball references. One of the highest pressure shots of his career, you could say, his playoff career free throw percentage is 78%. Do you think he's walking up there and saying, "Yeah, I can't really shoot free throws, so I'm really nervous about this"? Absolutely not. There is a level of confidence, not arrogance, but confidence, that great players need for big moments. Remember Kawhi's iconic shot to win Game 7 in 2019. The best plays in sports don't happen from self-doubt. Confidence may not always mean perfection or even success, but what it does guarantee you is progress and development. Instead of saying, "I'm not good at this," say, "I'm not good at this yet." The way you speak to yourself will literally alter your performance. Out of all the competitions, the toughest one is yourself. You will be competing against your fears, your comfort zone, and yesterday's version of you. Competition creates comparison. Comparison often creates self-doubt. Mental toughness is learning how to move forward despite that self-doubt and despite your challenges. There's another psychological phenomenon called imposter syndrome. This is the feeling that your success, skills, and accomplishments aren't truly deserved. It's this feeling that at some point people will find out that you're a fraud. Someone experiencing this might say, "I only did well because I got lucky. Everyone else understands this better than I do. If I make one mistake, people will realize that I don't belong here." Maybe some of you can relate to this, and maybe I'm not only talking to the students. Imposter syndrome is commonly felt when you're starting a new job, beginning undergrad or graduate school, receiving an award or promotion, or comparing yourself to highly successful peers. In university, I failed a course. And I debated whether I was going to show this or not, so I asked my wife about it. She said that I should, to make it more real for you. This is an actual screenshot from my transcript. I don't know what it was about this course, but I was not locked in, and if you think it was just basic geometry, it was not, I guarantee you. Long story short, I struggled with a lot of things at this point in my life, and after seeing this letter grade at the end of the semester, I thought, what am I doing? I'm not smart enough for this. I'm a fake. I faked my way to this point, and I cried. I questioned everything about who I am. I am not a natural at math, oddly enough. And it was weighing on me at that point. Some of you had asked me, "Hey, Mr. Cater, what chords did you have for your grad?" I didn't have any chords. but I did get Student of the Month. Anyway, I ended up transferring to Burman because I wanted to end up teaching Canada, as you heard Mr. Richards say that last part. But I looked at math in the eyes to prepare my redemption arc. And I'm proud of how I turned things around there. But if you thought this was some story where I became top of my class, it's not. But I definitely did much better. My confidence grew as I did my student teaching, and I graduated. Then I applied for my Ontario teacher certification, and I received it. About a month ago, I found out that I've been accepted into an online master's program at Waterloo. And and I thought about not saying that, because this is not about me, but thank you. But I needed to say that part because I needed to make my point, especially after showing you this. I didn't tell anyone, though. I was scared to tell people that I applied because I wasn't sure if I was going to get in. And that's just my honest truth. I was scared to even tell my own wife. I wasn't sure if this F on this transcript was going to haunt me forever or not. So here's what doesn't make sense. Someone with imposter syndrome will think, I have evidence that I'm capable, but I just don't believe it. It doesn't make any logical sense. They might receive a 90% on the math test and focus entirely on the question they missed and think I'm bad at math. The evidence of what just happened and your conclusion don't match, and I see it all the time. And I see it all the time for me too. The evidence of what just happened does not match. Students hand in a test knowing they bombed one question and says, I'm cooked. And I'll tell them, no, you're not cooked, you're learning. You want evidence that you're capable? At some point today, you're going to be receiving this evidence, your diplomas, evidence that you learned and passed all the classes that you need to, evidence that you are capable, evidence that you can be successful, evidence that you can work hard, and it's evidence that you are ready for the next step. Look at all the competitions you've won and lost. Look at the crying, the all-nighters, and the smiles and the laughter. You will all go on to keep competing. You will keep losing and winning. But what matters most is that you're staying in the game. Don't let the losses stop you from trying. I'm sure that at some point you have doubted your abilities. I'm sure that at some point this school year you had or have a certain career in mind, and maybe you question whether you're cut out for it. Mental toughness isn't never struggling. It's not never doubting or never failing. Like Pastor Poulet also said last night, I've been adulting for a little less time, but long enough to know that the fears and anxieties and stress, they do not stop. It's about staying engaged when things become difficult. It's about staying in the game. It's about embracing the challenges and recognizing that we don't grow in comfort. Paul tells us in Romans 5, verses 3 and 4, that we should also be glad for our challenges, since it's our challenges that grow us and grow our perseverance, which grows our character, which then grows our hope. These competitions and challenges that you will face, some will be easier to overcome than others. Some will be academic, some will not. What I want to leave you with today is the fact that I am confident that you are all ready. And you are enough. You aren't meant to go through it alone. As you will always have your support system, you will always have help from your family. You will always have help from God. Even though you will be more independent, you don't need to do this alone. Look at what you've been able to overcome so far. And as Coach Kevin said yesterday, You're about to become freshmen all over again, and on a new and bigger campus. You've done it before, you can do it again. Be brave, be confident, be who God intended you to be. He will give you the strength to face these challenges. And many of your challenges, I repeat, many of your challenges may not just be academic. There is a quote: "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for." Over the last 4 years, we've tried to prepare you for the journey ahead, not by eliminating every storm, but by helping you build the character, resilience, and faith to face them. And I hope that all your teachers and staff and Mr. P and I have been able to do that for you. Ships are safest in the harbor, but that is not where they belong. And graduates, neither do you. Thank you.
It is my privilege to present to you this year's graduating class, the class of 2026. There are 70 graduates in the class of 2026. 16 are graduating in absentia. 39 of these graduates claim Ontario as their province of residence, 2 graduates from the province of Alberta, 3 graduates from the province of Quebec, 1 graduate from each of the following: Nunavut, Brazil, Korea, Rwanda, Belgium, and the Philippines. 20 graduates are from China. 35 of the graduates have been at Kingsway for 4 years, 1 for 3.5 years, 17 for 3 years, 13 for 2 years, and 4 for only 1 year. 11 students are graduating with honors, signified by the blue cords, a cumulative high school average of 80 to 84%. 12 students are graduating with high honors, signified by the red cords, a cumulative high school average of 85 to 89%. And 16 are graduating with highest honors, signified by the gold cords, a cumulative average of 90% or over. 56 of the graduates will be recommended as Ontario Scholars, scoring an average of 80% or above in at least 6 grade 12 courses. The cumulative class average to date for all high school work is 84.4%. Currently, 68 of the 70 graduates plan to continue their education in September. 2 have decided to take a gap year. They will attend post-secondary institutes in Canada, the Netherlands, Brazil, the Philippines, and the United States. So far, 11 are planning to attend an Adventist university next year, 5 to Andrews University, 1 to Burman University, 1 to Southern University, 2 to Oakwood University, 1 to Walla Walla University, and 1 to the Adventist University of the Philippines. 58 students are planning to attend a public university or college next year, 1 to each of the following colleges and universities: George Brown College, OCAD University, Trent University, University of Alberta, University of Brazil, University of California, Brock University, Concordia University, Wilfrid Laurier University, Western University, University of Waterloo, Eindhoven University of Technology, Seneca Polytech, Heritage College, Rutgers University, McMaster University. 3 to each of the following: to the University of British Columbia and McGill University. 4 to Toronto Metropolitan University. 5 to Ontario Tech, 7 to York University, and 13 to the University of Toronto. 2 students are still undecided. Most of the students have a pretty solid plan for their future. 41 graduates plan to study in the STEM field of science, technology, engineering, mathematics, which includes aviation, interior architecture, game design, life sciences, biology, biomedical science, computer science, electronics engineering technician, engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, mathematics, medicine, medical laboratory science, nursing, chemical and physical sciences, paramedicine, psychology, health science, science, physical, earth, and computer group. Statistics, healthcare administration, and statistics. 13 plan to work in business, which includes accounting, commerce, economics, finance, marketing, business administration, management, global business and digital arts, arts management and media studies, and organizational studies. One from each of the following: culinary, early childhood education, teaching, sociology, theology, social work, 2 in social sciences, and 6 are undecided what they will study in the future. This year, the government is giving community service certificates for graduating service. Currently, you need 40 hours of volunteer service to graduate from an Ontario high school. If you earn 50 hours or more, you receive a special certificate. 34 of the graduates will be given a special community service certificate. 23 of the graduates will receive a bronze certificate for completing between 50 to 99 hours. 6 of the graduates will receive a silver certificate for completing between 100 to 199 hours. And 5 graduates will receive a gold certificate for completing over 200 hours of community service. Graduates, God has great plans for all of you. He is always with you wherever you go, and He will always be rooting for you. Take Him with you on your journey wherever you go, and you will succeed. The class of 2026 is a group of very talented young people. The faculty and staff of Kingsway College wish you all the success in the future. Go out into the world and make a difference. Let people see all the talents that you possess, and remember, no matter how educated, talented, rich, or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all. Integrity is everything, and your attitude determines your direction. When God wants to move you to bigger blessings, He'll allow a heavy storm to pour on you. Every plant grows after the rain. Never give up, and always pray to have eyes that see the best in people, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgets the bad, and a soul that never loses faith in God. President Richards, I have examined all the records and grades of the graduating class of 2026, and on behalf of all the teachers that have taught them, I have found that they are eligible to receive their Ontario Secondary School Diploma. Sasha, Milan, and Jodi, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Gold Community Service Certificate. J. Oliver Castellan Lauanyo, High Honors, Ontario Scholar, Silver Community Involvement Certificate. C. Wu Jane Jin, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Silver Community Involvement Certificate. Matthew Christian Hilton, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Silver Community Involvement Certificate. Isaiah Tavita Leonardo Pule, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Jane Cyrell Benedicto Allo, honors, Ontario Scholar. Mia Alexis Catabog Menglingnon, high honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Jonathan Noel Joggin Palabello, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Silver Community Involvement Certificate. Jonathan Rajesh Ram, honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Naomi Alicia Ruddock, honors, Ontario Scholar, Gold Community Involvement Certificate. Nicholas Montera de Souza, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Kaya Rambawa Pasquale, highest honors, Ontario Scholar. Ellen Loren Edgerlin, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Rahim Jair Maurice Denny, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Gold Community Involvement Certificate. Zachary Andre Superli Solom, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Lydia Hanok Ayeli, Bronze Community Investment Certificate. Fiona Cedrol Bernardo, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Dylan Luke Havelijana Dossel, High Honors, Ontario Scholar, Silver Community Involvement Certificate. Rodrigo Jeremiah Cabagao, High Honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Hasey Vishel Akawili Damog, Highest Honors, Ontario Scholar, Gold Community Involvement Certificate. John Lords de Okno, Nepomuceno, High Honors, Ontario Scholar. Roxy Zhang, High Honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Janae Eden Oliveira, Honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Isaac Chubokubuka Ufomadu, High Honors, Ontario Scholar. Logan Marcel Biniyomona, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Lisa Camuto Elizabeth Mongare, High Honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Grace Amadante. Darius Rambawa, Honors, Ontario Scholar. Chad Haley Ohano Narbarte, Honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Malachi Nathaniel Emelek, Ontario Scholar. Victoria Malman Schreiner, High Honors, Ontario Scholar. Liana Simbi Makuza, highest honors, Ontario Scholar. Zaira Rose Ababu Aline. Josiah Elias Alexander Magrigno, highest honors, Ontario Scholar. Marla Bella Mizrahi, honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Emilio Moctezuma, honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Kari Ramboa Pasquale, high honors, Ontario Scholar. Talia Audrey King, honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Alisa Seng, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Nazomi Ogawa, highest honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Alumase Okojo J. Abu, honors, Ontario Scholar. Zenia Yanis Anna Leo, high honors, Ontario Scholar, Silver Community Involvement Certificate. Amarissa Leanne Reed, high honors, Ontario Scholar.
Go, Dr. Ali!
Mike Panache Camara, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Tian Eric Jiao, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Tian Xiang Wang, Wisdom, highest honors, Ontario Scholar. Hao Ran Liu, Ontario Scholar. Morgan Gianna McGlashan. Kian Jessica Clark, Gold Community Involvement Certificate. Osasare Caleb Osa Obede. Jana Marie Camille Heslop, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Kesia Nakalia White. Angelina Timchuk, High Honors, Ontario Scholar, Bronze Community Involvement Certificate. Aija Yang, Highest Honors, Ontario Scholar. It is my privilege to introduce to you the valedictorian and salutatorian of the graduating class of 2026. When I call their names, I would like them to please come forward. I will then tell you a little about each one of them, and then the valedictorian will give their speech. The difference between the valedictorian and the salutatorian's average is only 1.2%. Our salutatorian, who will receive a certificate and $50, graduating with a cumulative high school average of 95.7%, is Alisa Seng. The valedictorian, who will receive a certificate, $100, and is also the recipient of the Governor General Bronze Medallion for Academic Excellence, graduating with a cumulative high school average of 96.5%, is Sasha Njadi. Alisa, I know you do not like being the center of attention. You might be feeling a little bit uncomfortable with what I am going to say in my little speech about you right now, as you are very humble and a private person. But know that so many teachers and staff wanted to let you and others know what an amazing person you are. So here I go. Alisa, the salutatorian of the 2026 graduating class, was born on April 4, 2008 in Richmond Hill, Ontario, to Dennis Sang and Jessica Hahn. She has two older brothers, Matthew and Jonathan, who also attended Kingsway College. Alisa began her education in Taiwan, where she started kindergarten. She returned to Canada with her mom and her brothers when she was in grade 3 and continued her elementary education at College Park Elementary School. That is when I first met her. We have been privileged to have her attending Kingsway College for the last 4 years. I asked the faculty and staff at Kingsway to tell me what you have meant to them. Here is what they had to say. Mr. Brown said, Alisa also has been a joy to teach. She is a student of high integrity and a strong work ethic. She shows genuine kindness and thoughtfulness towards others. I will miss her next year. Mrs. Lisk told me that Alisa is very talented in music and that she will always remember her for her great smile and quiet nature. Mr. Cater added, Alisa is quiet, caring, and gentle, but don't mistake that for weakness. Behind that calm demeanor is a brilliant mathematical mind and a character that has earned the respect of everyone around her. Mrs. Solomon said, she has been a pleasant person to interact with over the years she has been at Kingsway. Her genuine smile and her kind nature are so appreciated. It is obvious that she is respected by her peers. Various times when I had chatted with her, I can see that she is truly an amazing person. I know she will continue making a positive impact in all her future pursuits. Pastor RJ told me that she's diligent, thoughtful, and observant. Mr. O had this to say about her. She is the kind of student a teacher remembers. Entrusted with both technical and creative responsibilities, she brought the same care and precision to every task, never cutting corners, never missing the point of the work. She listens before she speaks, asks the questions that matter, and follows through without being reminded. What distinguishes her beyond competence, though, is the quality of her character. When students lost marks for careless or inattentive errors, Alisa would come to me on their behalf, not to dispute or complain, but to quietly and respectfully ask where there was room for them to learn from the mistake and recover. She never overstepped, never presumed. She simply refused to watch a student struggle alone when she could do something about it. That kind of advocacy requires setting aside self-interest entirely and caring more about someone else's outcome than your own standing. Whatever community she joins next will find itself not just served by her competence, but shaped by her integrity. Alisa's mom said that she's my gift from God. Already having 2 wonderful sons, I really wish to have a daughter. God granted me that gift. So grateful to God that she has been a true blessing to our family. She helps bring the best out of all of us and keeps our bond stronger. Alisa plans to attend University of Toronto in September, where she will study mathematical and physical sciences. I will miss your humble personality. I will miss your smile and little bow you give me when we meet in the hallway. I will miss seeing you in band playing the oboe. I know my life has been blessed by knowing you, but most importantly, God has great plans in store for you. Remember to lean on Him and trust Him in all that you do. Continue to strive for excellence. I have no doubt that you will achieve all that you have set out to do. Congratulations on a job well done. Kingsway College is very proud of you, and so am I. I am excited for the adventure you will now be on. I will be cheering you on as I am more excited for the people that will get to meet you. They will be very blessed. Now go light the world with your talents. You can. Sasha and Jodi are valedictorian of the graduating class of 2026, was born on August 18 to Manoush and Patrima and Jodi. Sasha has a little brother, Jonah, who attends College Park Elementary School in grade 6, almost grade 7. Sasha started her education in JK at Crawford Adventist Academy. She then transferred to College Park Elementary School in the second semester of grade 1, where she stayed until she graduated from grade 8. After graduating from grade 8, she transferred to Kingsway College, where she has been for her high school years. I asked Sasha's mom if she would share a few things about Sasha with me. This is what she told me. Sasha showed leadership qualities since she was a little girl, rounding up the little girls in our neighborhood, giving them roles, making sure everyone was playing fair, even in their makeup games. Sasha has music in her blood and it runs in her family. She plays 5 instruments and started violin lessons when she was 4 before she could even read or write. This was followed by piano, French horns, cello, trumpet, and guitar, which she taught herself. Sasha was super excited to be an older sister and doted on her little brother Jonah from the day he was born. She also loved to play princess and did try to turn her brother into a frog with her magic wand a couple of times when he annoyed her. Sasha truly loves the community at Kingsway. At home, her family knows all of her friends' birthdays, Mr. P's dad jokes, and Mr. Cater's random tangents during math class, which band selection was bothering Mr. Brown that day, etc., because she talks about them all the time. I asked the faculty and staff of Kingsway to tell me what they wanted you and others to know about Sasha, and this is what they said. Mr. Brown stated that Sasha has been a joy to teach. She is a tremendous leader, and her hard work, kindness, and diligence inspires those around her. He said he will really miss her, and he made that little face on the computer. Mrs. Lisk told me that Sasha is very organized, a real leader, sticks to her commitments, and through all of it, she is good under pressure. She cares deeply for her friends and supports them in whatever way she can. Miss Mora had this to say, I've known Sasha since she was born, a little girl in our Willowdale family. Watched her arrive at Crawford as a little JK student and just missed her opportunity to teach her when her family moved to Curtis. I have been privileged to catch glimpses of her along the way, as every single one of them has been impressive. She has an understanding and maturity that just does not match her years. Her grip on reality is far above what somebody with her life experience should display, yet she continues to aim high, probably because she is more than capable of reaching her lofty goals. She's going big places. Mr. Cater said, Sasha is a natural leader who does everything with exceptional quality. She is driven and decisive, all while being extremely kind and loving to people around her. She never hesitates to let me know when I've made a mistake at the board. And more often than not, she's right. Pastor RJ told me that she's hardworking, kind, and loves God. I'll always remember her attending all 4 leadership retreats as the class president, which shows her leadership and service-oriented mind. Mr. O added, Sasha has distinguished herself not only by excelling mathematically, but by actively choosing the harder path. Rather than settling for surface-level understanding, she pursued mastery, working through concepts like the unit circle until she could fluently apply them across the full range of trigonometric contents, even when no one required her to do so. When faced with a difficult problem, she did not retreat but leaned in, bringing curiosity and quiet confidence to challenges that others found discouraging. What set her apart, though, was the rare combination of high achievement and genuine humility. She celebrated others' successes as readily as her own, invested in the people around her, and embodied a vision of leadership grounded not in recognition but in service. Students with her caliber of character don't just succeed, they elevate every room they enter. Morty, as she is called by Sasha, said, "I've known Sasha since her early elementary school years. She was one of the very few hockey girlies and was kind to my daughter while she was the first getting through her ice legs. She's been a wonderful worker for 4 years, and she is a natural leader. She's kind and funny, and I'm so happy to call her family. We are related, though, our cut-through cousins, and I always thought that was a fun anecdote. Sasha will go out into the world and completely dazzle everyone she comes into contact with. I will miss her dearly." Now, Mr. P said, Sasha, or should I say Sass? As I fondly called her, is basically the human version of Tide Pod's 3-in-1 laundry detergent that can remove stains, clean clothes, and fight odors. Sasha comes fully loaded with 3 essential features. She's sociable, smart, and an outstanding leader, a total package. Sasha is a person who is fun to be with. She can make any conversation interesting. I can talk to her about absolutely anything, from deep life questions to the most random, nonsensical topics imaginable, and somehow the conversation will keep going. Academically, Sasha is incredibly strong and independent. Out of roughly 35 weeks in a school year, I can remember fewer than 10 weeks when she managed to make it through without catching something. It got to the point where every time she returned to class, my automatic reaction was, "Whew, she's alive today." Sasha knows this routine so well that she usually cuts me off before I can even finish the sentence, followed by a teasing smile. Yet, despite those missed days, she always finds a way to catch up and stay on top of her work. When it comes to leadership, Sasha is respected not only by her classmates and by the students and teachers alike. She has served as class president for all 4 years, a feat I don't think I've seen before at Kingsway College, at least not in the past 26 years that I can remember. Mr. Cater and I have been incredibly fortunate to have a class president who was respected, organized, dependable, and thorough. Quite honestly, Sasha makes our jobs as class sponsors so much easier. If only all class presidents came with a Sasha setting, we'd all be out of work. I believe Sasha is very wise beyond her years. I have been blessed to get to know her over the 4 years she has worked in the records office with Mrs. Mortensen and myself. She is like having 3 people work all in one. We would ask her to do something, and it was done fast and right. Talking to her is like talking to an old adult. She's great. Sasha, God has big plans for your life. As you head off to study medical laboratory sciences, pre-med at Andrews University in Michigan, always stay true to yourself no matter what comes your way. Trust God every step of the way, even when it's difficult, and you might not understand why, because God will never leave you. I am sure whatever you put your mind to do, you will succeed. You live up to Kingsway's motto of service, not fame, and Kingsway is proud of you and blessed that you chose to spend your high school years with us. Always let God lead you, and your journey will be far better than you could ever imagine. Congratulations on a job well done.
Good morning, everyone. You're all probably sick of seeing me up here cry, but I'm gonna try my best to reel it in. Friends, family, staff, parents, and graduates, the day has finally come. Thank you all for being here to celebrate with us. If you have forgotten or have just been caught up in graduation shuffle, today is Father's Day. And I want to thank all the fathers here today, especially the fathers of the graduates. You have helped shape us into the young people we are today, and no doubt have helped us get to this milestone. We honor you today as well for the sacrifices that you have made to allow us to be here today. On that note, I obviously need to thank my father and my family. Thank you for supporting me these past 4 years especially. Thank you for putting up with my attitude, which let's just say was because of teenage hormones. And most of all, thank you for reassuring me that you would still be proud of me even if I wasn't up here making this speech. And most of all, thank you for buying me tickets to see Bruno Mars. Speaking of Father's Day and my family, I have to talk about Mr. P and Mr. Cater. You've already heard me say my piece about them on Friday, but I want you all to know that words are not enough to sum up the impact that these two have had on my life. Mr. P, you have become a father figure to me, and Mr. Cater, even though you're not technically old enough to be a father to me, you've become my family as well. I thank God that he put you both in my life, and I hope you know that you'll never be rid of me. I want to recognize those of the staff who are graduating from Kingsway with us. Mr. and Mrs. Richards, Mrs. Foreman, Mrs. Smith, Mr. B, and if there are any others that I don't know, I recognize you too. As you move on to the next chapter of your lives, may God be with you and bless you. And I would officially like to congratulate you as a part of the graduating class of 2026. Most of you don't know this, but in the beginning of my grade 11 year, my family and I were pretty much set on the idea of me taking off to UK and going straight to medical school after high school. I didn't care who I was leaving behind or the friendships I would maintain. Then, second semester grade 11, I had a spare during period 5, and I started hanging out with a very special group of people that quickly changed my mind. This group consists of Nika Esguerra, Polly Cardwell, Paul Villanueva, Jane Jin, and myself. I also want to mention Kira Alba, Serena Tatra, and Harold Rapizo, who somehow God knew I needed. You are all the reason that I know that friends can become family. And I thank you for treating me like your own sister. Speaking of sisters, you all know that I have to talk a little bit more about my best friend, who is basically my twin sister at this point, Jane. Jane, stop crying and don't look at me when you're doing it. If you know me, you probably know Jane. She is the most loving, nurturing, and genuine person I know. I've spent so much time with her that we now laugh exactly the same. As I've said before to the class, everyone should have a Jane in their life. And if you have the opportunity to have my Jane in your life, all I can say is that you would be a fool to reject that privilege. My last thank you is to someone who is the reason that I am going to Andrews University. So I'd like to call to the front Mr. Andrew Brown. Mr. Brown's first Christmas concert at CPES and Kingsway was also my first concert at CPES. I remember them introducing him as the new band teacher, and I didn't really know what that meant until grade 8 when this choir kid became a band kid. And since then, I've watched Mr. Brown's love for music only continue to grow. And it is because of him that I am now in love with music. And I was exposed to Andrews University. that I changed my acceptance from Andrews University to Andrews University in March, when I had already committed to the University of Toronto. I have never seen anyone so passionate about their job. And Mr. Brown, I hope to have the same drive and passion as you. Wait, don't go yet. I wanted to give you a little something, and band kids, I need you to help me out, okay? So, as you guys know, if you play on a rest in band, you owe Mr. Brown. So, Mr. Brown, wait, I'm still, Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown, just as that doesn't begin to cover it, I cannot thank you enough for what you have done in my life. They say God puts people in your life to guide you on the right path. You were that person for me. Now, graduating class. I'm not here to say, well, now it's time for the real world. Well, actually, I will, but just give me a couple more minutes. I want you to know that I'm not up here today because I've been a perfect student. I've struggled with disappointing grades, procrastination, especially on this speech, and using caffeine to help me study for tests. The thing that I've learned is the difference between success and failure is not giving up. I didn't give up. And because you are here today, you also didn't give up. No matter how little or much you struggled to be here today, it was always in God's plan for you to be celebrated for your accomplishment today. So give yourselves a hand. I know you've heard me speak a lot over the past 4 years, and whether you listened or not, just listen to this. As you choose your next path, do not let anyone let you think that God's plan for you is inferior. I get a lot of people saying to me, but U of T has a prestigious name, or there's a higher standard of education there. Let me tell you something. When you feel the push of God towards one path, you can't deny it. And for some of you, that may be U of T, York, TMU, Berman, Southern, Andrews, or something else. But I plead with you, do not ignore the path that God is pushing you towards because of what others think, what the world thinks, or even what you think sometimes. We serve a loving and all-powerful God, and put those two together, there is nothing that can stand against him and his will. I promise you, God will not push you to a place where he won't be with you. I find it scary sometimes, the uncertainty and the feeling that I'm safe right here, I don't want to go anywhere. But I remember something that my close friend Haley DeMuggan said to me. She said, Sasha, if I thought I was happy then with that, I can't wait to see what God has in store for me. So choose him. Don't keep saying, trust that life will work out for the better. Trust that God will carry you through even when it seems like it doesn't. Life is hard either way, so why not have God on your side? So, it's time for the real world. Honestly, I realized how fast time moves when my 11-year-old brother started giving me his hand-me-downs a couple months ago. But graduates, it's time to grow up. It's time to do that scary thing called adulting. But I promise you, if you let God lead you down the right path, he will carry you through. Thank you.
Good morning, Kingsway. Good morning, staff. Good morning, faculty. On behalf of Oakwood University's President, Dr. Gina Spivey Brown, the first female president of Oakwood University's 130-year history, I bring you greetings. My name is Raquel Lassonier. I am the Director of Residential Life at Oakwood University and the Dean of Carter Hall, which is the freshman women's dorm. And so any young ladies here going to Oakwood next year? Hey, I will be your dean. But first, I would like to thank administration, faculty, staff, and families of Kingsway. Thank you for the investment you have made in these students. It is evident that you have done a tremendous job and poured into them academically, spiritually, but above all, emotionally and personally. I often tell students that getting them into college is one thing, helping them become successful adults is another. That requires character. Character is who you are when nobody is watching. It is doing the right thing because it is right, not because someone is keeping score. And I can see that Kingsway has already done a lot of that work, and I couldn't be more proud. At Oakwood University, we will be honored to continue what you have already started here. Of course, we want our students to be as smart as possible. We want them to become the next doctors, judges, lawyers, engineers, nurses, educators, and leaders. But at Oakwood, we also like to do what we call a little mix of Jesus. So, bring Jesus into your dreams, as your valedictorian says. We believe that our students should graduate with a degree in one hand and purpose in the other. With more than 50 clubs, including but not limited to various social and academic organizations, choirs, ministries, students have opportunities to grow academically, socially, and spiritually. We're also proud of to be nationally recognized in our academic programs and the success our graduates continue to have in their graduate schools and professional careers. Through our dual enrollment program, students can also even begin earning college credits while still in high school. So for my juniors, think about it. Ask some of your graduating friends today if they've taken any classes, and we'll be glad to help you at Oak University. And because we believe in investing in future leaders, Oakwood University has awarded nearly almost $500,000 in scholarships to Kingsway graduates. Today, I have the privilege of adding to that total by presenting scholarships awards to several students of the class of 2026. I know you've already received them, but I would just like to call your names for recognition. The first name that I have on my list was Raheem Denny in $40,000. Jana Marie Heslop with $32,000. Keon Clark in the amount of $20,000. Lisa Mongare, $32,000. Jonathan Ram, $40,000. I'm so sorry, I don't want to butcher your name, but Osasare? No, $6,000. Amarisa Reed, $40,000. And last but not least, Naomi Rudak with $32,000. As you guys continue, let's give those students another round of applause. And final words to the graduates, congratulations. You have made your families proud, your school proud, and most importantly, you have proven to yourselves that what is possible when faith, hard work, and perseverance comes together. We look forward to seeing what God does through each and every one of you. Congratulations again, class of 2026.
Is it morning or afternoon? I'm not sure. So good morning or good afternoon to Mr. Richards, Ms. Zabo, the faculty and staff, graduating class of 2026, our parents, family and friends who are here to celebrate. I am not Jovi and Alexander. I am Joanne Alexander, her mom. Jovian was supposed to be doing this presentation on behalf of Burman University, but after we left the gym yesterday for a potluck lunch, she went home and she had a presentation to do at Toronto Perth SDA Church. And halfway through, almost getting there, I got a phone call. Mom, someone just hit me from behind. So she was in an accident yesterday, so this morning she cannot move. She tried to come, but she just can't do it. So she's asked me to. But we give God thanks that she's alive and well. Jovian was class of 2029, and now she works as one of the enrollment and marketing representatives for Burman University. So she asked me as I was going out the door, she said, Mom, hold on. Please tell the class that I really enjoyed class trip in Quebec with you guys. This is what she told me to tell you. Okay. On behalf of the President, Dr. Gray, and our administration at Burman University, thank you for this opportunity to be here to celebrate Kingsway's college graduating class of 2026. Class of 2026, congratulations, you did it. Burman University offers scholarships for leadership, music, athletics, and academics. This year, Burman is proud to offer several scholarships for excellence in these areas. These awards are only a part of close to $400,000 in scholarships that Burman has awarded to students across Canada this year. This number increases daily, and for those who haven't completed the applications to Burman University and still wishes to attend, it is not too late. You can still apply to Burman and therefore could be one of the scholarship recipients. To begin, the Burman University is honored to recognize the academic accomplishments for the valedictorian and salutarian of the class of 2026. Alisa Zhang is receiving the salutarian award worth $1,500. Sasha Njati is receiving the valedictorian award of $3,000. Burman University is also honored to award a scholarship to the following students who have been granted admission to Burman University. Many more of you could also be eligible for similar scholarships. For the following students, I would make sure that they know when they come to Burman that it will be in order. They don't need to know their months ahead of time. Just know that it is available. Zihara Aline can receive up to $9,750. Dylan Dosel can receive up to $19,500. Lisa Mongari will receive $31,500. One of the ways Burman University acknowledges students' achievements in high level of academic excellence is by offering them a full tuition scholarship called the President's Awards for Superior Academic Achievement. It goes to the Canadian high school students who have an outstanding admission average of 95% or higher and who chooses to attend Burman University. This year, the President is pleased to award the Superior Academic Achievement worth up to $69,240 to each of these students that we'll name. And that would be $69,240 goes to Hasey Damog. Alisa Zeng, $69,240. Jonathan Polabello, $69,240. And last but not least, Isaiah Pule, $69,240. Congratulations once again to the class of 2026. Remember, it is not too late to choose Burman University to continue your academic pursuits. That being said, wherever God leads you, we pray for your success in your future endeavors. On behalf of Jovi and Alexander, thank you.
On behalf of my alma mater, Andrews University, where I graduated in 1991, I have the privilege to read the little message that they have sent for the graduating students. Andrews University embraces the phrase "world changers made here" as a powerful way to describe what Andrews believes is God's central plan as a university, and for each one of you as members of the Andrews family. Andrews Partnership Scholarships and other merit scholarships will be awarded to each senior who has applied and has been accepted to Andrews University as of mid-May. These scholarships are based on high school cumulative GPA and/or ACT or SAT scores and are renewable for 4 years. The 4-year total for these Andrews University scholarships for the Kingsway College class of 2026 is $848,000. On behalf of Andrews University, congratulations once again. We pray that God will bless you as you fulfill his plans for your life, and we welcome those who choose to be at home at Andrews soon or sometime in the future. Thank you, and God bless.
I bring to you a message from Walla Walla University. Walla Walla University wants to extend their heartiest congratulations to the entire graduating class of 2026 on their completion of high school. These scholarships are extended to seniors who applied and were admitted to Walla Walla University. They are calculated based on cumulative GPA or test scores and any leadership student have shared with the university. Details can be found on the back of the award, and the scholarship may increase once the student's final transcript is reviewed. This is just the beginning, as other financial aid may also be available. Today, Walla Walla University will be awarding a total of $445,000 in scholarships to the Kingsway College graduating class of 2026. We wish God's richest blessings on this class. Lieutenant Governor Community Volunteer Award. The Lieutenant Governor's Community Volunteer Award is given to a graduating student from each of Ontario's secondary school who not only completed a number of volunteer hours required to graduate, but who goes above and beyond. The recipient was chosen by faculty and staff and will receive an oval pin, certificate, and congratulatory letter from the Lieutenant Governor General of Ontario. And this award goes to Sasha Njadi.
The North American Division Caring Heart Award. The Seventh-day Adventist Church and schools believe that teaching young people to be actively involved in witnessing and service activities is central to the educational goals of the school and the education system, as well as to the mission of the church. For this reason, the Secondary Student Caring Heart Award for Christian Service has been established in recognition to those secondary students who have demonstrated a personal commitment to active participatory service and witnessing activities and programs. The recipient of this award will receive a special scholarship award certificate with a value of $500, accompanied by a plaque and an engraved Bible. This year's recipient of the North American Division and Seventh-day Adventist Church in Canada Caring Heart Award is Ellen Ederlin.
The Sandy Audio Visual Scholarship, sponsored by Cleve and Meredith Sandy, will be presented to a grade 12 student or students who are graduating from Kingsway College and planning to study either in the field of sound, media, music, or in the nursing medical field. One recipient will receive a certificate and a check of $500, and this year's award is presented to Josiah Megrino. The Science Department Scholarship Award. This award was provided by an anonymous donor to encourage a top grade 11 or 12 returning student in the field of science and was chosen by the Science Department. The recipient will receive a certificate and a check for $500, and this year's recipient is Alyssa Tseng.
Good afternoon, graduates, friends, parents of graduates, as well as the KC family. I am very privileged and happy to present an award in memory of my sister Yvonne Westrate Grizel. My sister graduated from Kingsway College in 1974, and then she continued her post-secondary education at Kettering College, and she graduated with a degree in respiratory therapy. During her time at Kettering, she became an accomplished balance beam and uneven bars gymnast. She married Greg Grizel, and they had 2 sons, Zachary and Caleb. Her love for God, her family, her horses, her life were evident in her everyday life. She ended up with cancer at the age of 35, but she was a fierce warrior. God was at her side during that battle. She never, ever gave up during her journey. She passed away at 37, at which time the class of 1974 set up this award in memory of her. This award is given to a young lady in grade 12 who reflects my sister's character, her passions, and who has some of the same attributes that my sister had. The young lady who will be receiving this award of $500 has been at Kingsway for 4 years. She has been a part of the aerials team for 4 years. She reflects Jesus Christ, and she has that same spirit of, I will never give up. I've learned to see and watch this young lady grow into who she is today. I am pleased to present her with this award. Will Naomi Ruddock please come forward?
George Pipe. We're going to do mine first, since I'm already here. George Piper Jr. Prowess Prize Award. This memorial prize is in memory and honor of George Piper Jr., a beloved member of the Kingsway community and superior athlete who excelled across multiple sports. George was an elite distance runner who held the record for the campus run, while also being a tremendous sprinter and basketball player. Beyond athletics, he was a leader in the KC band, embodying the spirit of well-rounded excellence. This prize is presented to a grade 12 student who is a high-caliber participant in athletic endeavors and various sports or intramural. Like George, may this year's recipient continue to inspire through their athletic prowess, academic dedication, and community spirit. It is my pleasure to award this prize to Lisa Monger.
Good afternoon, graduates. Good afternoon also to the teachers, the faculty, staff, parents, families, friends, and supporters. My name is Joseph Martin, but some of you know me as Dean Joseph because I work here at Kingsway. But besides my ministry in the dorm, I also serve as the chaplain for the ACF Ontario Student Association team. And today I have the wonderful privilege of presenting the Adventist Christian Fellowship Scholarship Award. I'm here on the behalf of the Adventist Christian Fellowship Student Association team, which is under the Ontario level under the direction of Pastors John Scott and Pastor Inpio Hong in the Ontario Conference. And if you are not familiar with ACF, Adventist Christian Fellowship, it is the official organization of the Ontario Conference of the Seventh-day Adventist Church for ministry on public university, college, and institution campuses. And this ministry is hosted within the youth department of the Adventist Church in Ontario. And everybody from our team would like to congratulate you graduates today on your amazing accomplishments over the past 4 years. But here's a fun fact for all of you. Did you know that only 70% of students within the church do not attend an Adventist school after high school? 70%. So only 30% choose to pursue higher education at an Adventist campus. So that means the other 70% are on public college and university campuses. And that is where our ministry of ACF steps in. ACF is an Adventist Christian presence for students on public campuses while also empowering these same students to be leaders and equipping them with the necessary tools to share Christ with their peers. ACF chooses to be that warm, welcoming Adventist Christian atmosphere amidst the perseverance and hard work that is required for post-secondary life. And I believe that out of the graduates, only 11 of you will be going to an Adventist school in the fall. So that means the vast majority of you will be on a public campus, and the vast majority of you will greatly benefit from ACF. The scholarship being presented today recognizes a student who will be attending an Ontario public campus who has displayed both spiritual influence and leadership roles, as well as being highly active in extracurricular and community involvement. On behalf of ACF, today I have the pleasure of presenting this Adventist Christian Fellowship Scholarship of $500 to Matthew Hilton.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, faculty, students, graduates. I don't know most of you, but I am so proud of you guys. You guys look amazing out there, and I want to congratulate you guys for this wonderful graduation. It's beautiful. Please join me. My name is Rose Thomas, and I am here to present to you an award on behalf of my sister, Joyce Brown. My sister was an absolutely wonderful, kind, loving person who believed in Christianity. Her children, most of which has actually graduated from Kingsway College, and most of which has gone on to have successful careers and is living wonderful lives. So today I am proud to make this contribution as a recognition of my sister's delegation, of her commitment to uplifting others, and to basically recognize that Christianity makes a big difference in one's life. So today, please join me as I'm proud to be here to present this award to an exceptionally outstanding person. Someone I've never met before, but judging from the applause and the love and respect that you have shown that person, I know this is extremely well-deserved recipient. So to our recipient, who is a responsible student, who consistently demonstrates a strong work ethic, a positive attitude, as well as excelling in her academic studies, her dedication to helping others, caring for others, and in the way she participates in her classroom discussion, her willingness to share her ideas, to engage and thoughtfully support her peer. What makes the student stands out so much in her character is her dependability, her respect for others, and a wonderful example of someone who strives to be the best in all that she undertakes. Her willingness to contribute to others, to encourage others, and to foster a positive classroom environment certainly did not go unnoticed. She is friendly, approachable, kind-hearted, and is consistently treated others with respect and consideration. Her commitment to excellence, her positive influence to those all around her is so much a characteristic of my own sister, Joyce Brown. And to basically pass on her legacy that she will always remember, and for us to always show appreciation Please join me in congratulating the recipients of this Joyce Brown Memorial Award, Amarissa Reed.
Good afternoon, graduates, parents, and friends. My name is Ian Meikle, and this is my sister, Vereen. I know many of you know Vereen because she's the treasurer of the Ontario Conference. So today, we're here to present the Tanya Meikle Memorial Scholarship Award. Our beautiful niece, Tanya, is a proud graduate of Kingsway College. She was in the class of 1992. Her love for people and her compassion for others led her to pursue a career in nursing. Sadly, Tanya passed away in January of 2022, sorry. And so today, the recipient of the 2026 Tanya Meikle Memorial Award is Zanea Leo. Zanea is a gifted musician who plays the flute and the piccolo. She's extremely talented, demonstrates excellent character, and is always willing to help in class. Zanea consistently displays Christ-like characters and actively participates in singing on praise team. She possesses excellent leadership qualities and approaches every responsibility with diligence, maturity, and dedication. She takes her commitment seriously and can always be counted on to serve faithfully and with a positive attitude. Zanea is always smiling, as you can see, friendly in the hallway, and reflects Christ in all that she does. Her servant heart, strong leadership, and commitment to others makes her faith a very deserving recipient of this award. Thank you, Zanea.
For the past 11 years, it has been my privilege to serve with an outstanding group of people who work here at Kingsway College. I cannot say enough about them, but I know that you feel the same way if you ever attended any of the programs here at Kingsway, including this weekend. It is because of that dedicated staff that things go so well and we're able to accomplish so much. Please. I have enjoyed my time here at Kingsway, and it's mainly because of them and the students that we have here. And so today, we are going to recognize 6 of our staff members who have reached certain goals in terms of their years of experience here at Kingsway College. I would like to invite these individuals to come forward to accept a token of our appreciation and esteem. based on the number of years of service they have been here at Kingsway College. For 10 years, this lady has worked with our students, helping them to find jobs on campus, ensuring that they are attending their work appointments, and helping the parents when there were challenges in those areas. And this lady also is very special to me because it just so happens that she is my wife. To recognize her 10 years of service, I would like to invite Cheryl Richards to come forward. We have another 10-year recipient with us this morning. This is an individual who gets lots of criticism because no matter what he does, it is never right. But we do appreciate everything that he does. I would not want to have to do what he does each and every day, and that is to prepare meals for our entire school population. And so today, I would like to recognize our head of department for the cafeteria, Mr. Sean Norte. For 20 years of service at Kingsway College, this woman has been an integral part of my life over the past several years, second only to my wife, because behind every great president at Kingsway College, there is a talented and wonderful woman who keeps the president organized and hopefully out of trouble most of the time. And so she has fulfilled a number of positions at this school, but for me, she was a great individual who helped me guide the school for the past several years. And so for 20 years of service, I would like to recognize Marilyn Lisk. For 30 years of service, this lady has given of her time. She has given lots of advice. She has done her best to guide the young ladies in our dormitory, which at times is no easy task. And so this morning I would like to recognize, for 30 years of service, Minya Milichuk. These next two people have been here at Kingsway College for 40 years. Again, there is someone who gives unstintingly, who always has a smile on their face, and from time to time will even threaten physical violence upon your person. But you know it is done out of love. And so for 40 years of service, we would like to recognize Minnie Edison. I saw both of these ladies here earlier this morning. They slipped out. One other person has also served Kingsway College faithfully for 40 years. And this individual, again, it is a job that I would not want to do because you get called out at all hours of the day. You get phone calls because of emergencies when you least expect it. And on holidays, you can never get away from it. This gentleman helps to keep Kingsway rolling along because when it comes to the physical plant of our school, he takes his responsibilities very seriously. And so today, I would like to recognize for 40 years of service, our Director of Maintenance, Mr. Robert Scott. And I saw him around here earlier today, too. We are going to recognize also some of our teaching faculty for their years of service to Seventh-day Adventist education, not only here at Kingsway, but also across Canada and in some cases around the world. We have a dedicated group of teachers who tirelessly prepare their students for the future. And so I would like to call for 15 years of dedicated Adventist education teaching experience, Nova Brown. For 20 years of service, Lilia Ovdienko. For 20 years of service, Yaroslav Ovdienko. For 25 years of service, Lucilla Naidu. This gentleman I actually graduated with and had him on staff at 2 different schools where I was principal. And that is, with 40 years of service, André Langevin.
As we continue recognizing our staff and faculty, we would also like to honor and take a pause for this extraordinary educator and leader. Lee Richards has dedicated 40 years of service in education, including 11 impactful years here at Kingsway College. That's 4 decades of shaping lives, strengthening faith, and leading with purpose. Here at Kingsway, we are guided by our vision, which is empowering students to reflect Christ's character, achieve academic excellence, and serve others with integrity, creativity, and compassion. Through in-reach and outreach experience, our Christ-centric and gospel-driven vision invites our students to see Jesus, meet Jesus, choose Jesus, and follow Jesus, and share Jesus. For Lee, this vision has never been just words. It has been lived out faithfully each and every day. His leadership has helped create the very environment that has shaped the graduates we celebrate today. While our hearts feel the weight of saying goodbye, we also feel deep gratitude and sense of peace, knowing that this is not just an ending, but a calling forward. Just as God has used you to guide so many here, we trust that He will continue to guide you in what comes next. Thank you for your unwavering commitment, your faith, your encouragement, and your leadership. You have made a difference in ways that words cannot fully capture. Congratulations on 40 incredible years, and may God bless you richly in this next chapter. And finally, Lee, we hope your next school keeps you busy with plenty of after-school, evening activities, and weekend activities so you don't miss those extra duties, especially the unforgettable late-night hospital visits.
Graduating class of 2026. Thank you for being part of my life. It is now time for the president to give the charge to the graduating class. And there is a prepared statement that I read each and every year. But as we are leaving together, would you like me to go off script and do something different, something unique? You'd like that? Okay. 21 years ago, I wrote a song for the graduating class of Sandy Lake Academy when they asked me to return to be their commencement speaker. It is a charge to live your life in a way that is going to change the lives of others around you. The name of the song is Wishes and Dreams. A wise man once said, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step, but that step is so hard when you're not really sure where it leads. Maybe it's frightening, surely exciting as your journey to the future will be. Wishes and dreams are what the future is made of. They are the spark that will lead to what you become. But if you don't have the Father with His mercy and His grace, then those wishes and dreams are only wishes and dreams, and they'll never be more than they are. The Father has said, take the journey on your own, by yourself, without His help. But the Father has marked the path, and He's willing to lead all the way. Will you still choose Him, or will you lose Him? It's your journey that this future will be. Wishes and dreams are what the future is made of. They are the spark that will lead to what you become. But if you don't have the Father with His mercy and His grace, then those wishes and dreams are only wishes and dreams, and they'll never be more than they are. Wishes and dreams, when given to the Father, they can become so much more. Because wishes and dreams are what your futures are made of. They are the spark that will lead to what you become. But if you don't have the Father with His mercy and His grace, then those wishes and dreams are only wishes and dreams, and they'll never be more than they are. Then those wishes and dreams are only wishes and dreams, and they'll never be more than they are. We have so much in common. We're leaving, we're going to something new. And we don't know what that future is going to be, but there are wishes and dreams that we all have. And I know that God is going to work in your lives. And so go out. Be the people that God wants you to be. Be close to Him. Stay close to Him. That is the charge that I give to you as the 2026 graduating class of Kingsway College, because I know you are special and God has a plan for you. God bless.
invite everyone to please stand. Our gracious and loving Father, today our hearts are filled with gratitude as we celebrate the graduating class of 2026. We thank you for your faithfulness throughout their journey, the lessons learned, the friendship formed, the challenges overcome, and the countless ways you have guided and sustained them. Thank you for their parents, families, teachers, staff, pastors, and mentors who have invested their time, love, prayers into these young lives. 2026 graduates, as you step into the future, filled with opportunities, challenges, and decisions, may God guide your steps. When the path is uncertain, protect your faith when the world tests your convictions, and strengthen your character as you pursue your dreams. May the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May you always remember that your worth is not found in your achievements, your grades, or your success, but in the God who created and redeemed you. May his grace sustain you in moments of failure, encourage you in times of doubt, and remind you that you are deeply loved. May the Lord turn his face toward you and give you peace. May he grant you wisdom in a world filled with confusion, courage in a culture that often pressures compromise, and peace when life feels overwhelming. May you be the light wherever God leads you, in your universities, workplaces, communities, and homes. To the class officers, may God bless the leadership you have demonstrated. May the lessons you have learned in serving others continue to shape you into leaders of integrity, humility, and compassion. To the parents and families, thank you for your countless sacrifices, prayers, encouragement, and love. May the Lord bless you richly for the seeds you have planted in the lives of these young men and women. May he grant you joy as you witness the fruit of your labor and faithfulness. To the teachers, staff, coaches, and mentors of Kingsway College, thank you for investing your time, knowledge, patience, and hearts into this graduating class. May the Lord bless your ministry of education and continue to use you to shape future generations for his kingdom. And to the Kingsway College class of 2026, may you go forward with confidence, not merely seeking success, but seeking significance, not merely pursuing careers, but fulfilling God's calling and mission upon your lives. May you walk happily with God, serve faithfully, love generously, and shine brightly for Jesus until the day he returns. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. All these things we ask in the mighty name of our Lord and our Savior, Jesus Christ. And let the congregation say, amen and amen. The graduating class and their escorts will remain standing, and the rest of our congregation will be seated. Thank you.
It is my privilege to present to you the graduating class of 2026.